at Tampa Bay. Week 8 is happening on Fox. Bernard Reedy, a short kick with the win. And great special teams work by the Panthers as they pin him at the 17-yard line. Here comes a flag.
Encroachment, number 95, defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
The Panthers at Buffalo. And a handoff here to Doug Martin. After no gain, Winston to throw and drops it incomplete. A couple of Panther defenders in the neighborhood of Deshaun Jackson. It'll bring up third down. Plenty of time for Winston and incomplete for Deshaun Jackson.
How many footballs were on the ground Friday at practice?
Brian Anger bangs it away. Inside the 20-yard line. Kalen. Cam Newton to throw on first down. Now he's on the move, and the Buccaneers get to him.
Wide when plays are over.
The rookie Christian McCaffrey in motion gets the handoff and is tackled up at the 37-yard line.
This afternoon.
Third down at 5. Cam Newton for the sideline for Kelvin Benjamin and broken up. Left-footed punter. Reedy with the wind and the spin of the ball. Bounces at the 15 where the Panthers down it.
Here we go.
Jameis Winston on first down. Cameron Brate for a short gain.
Here we go.
Doug Martin for a first down up near the 29.
The run. We cannot allow them to be able to do both things.
Quick snap as they get to the line, and Adam Humphries takes that out of bounds. The slot receiver had the...
Here we go.
And straight ahead, maybe to the 35 before a swarm of Panthers led by Luke Kuechly.
Here we go.
A lot of chatter on 3rd and 4, and incomplete. Would have been good enough for a first down. Mike Evans going to the ground. They traded him away and then got him back. Added him this week. Has fit right in. He's back to receive the punt once again. And is smothered back at the 17-yard line. Jonathan Stewart, some tough yards, taking people with him to the 23-yard line, and that's 7 sacks during those back-to-back losses. Cam Newton keeps this time a little short of the first down. That's on 3rd and a yard. And Cam Newton, that's 6'5", 240-pound frame, good enough. Free in the backfield with Cam Newton. He hands it off to Jonathan Stewart, and he's knocked back at the 25-yard line.
Impacted that play.
After a loss of a yard on 2nd down, Cam Newton open is Kelvin Benjamin and tackled right away at the 34-yard line. Let's get a game. On 3rd down, the blitz coming. It's picked up and across the middle, McCaffrey, who's got a first down at the 47 of Carolina. Heat version for Carolina. McCaffrey got crowded in there, maybe to the 47.5, 48-yard line. Well,
with all those new players at different positions, so scale it back. Let them not think.
McCaffrey as a receiver, and in that direction, incomplete. Complete at midfield, and for a first down is Russell Shepard, the one-time Buccaneer. They convert their play clock down to 2. And just in time, snapped by Cam Newton, who's airing it out deep. Coverage is good and knocked away. Burnett. Middle of the field open. Down inside the 30. The rookie Curtis Samuel. Cam Newton to throw. And open. Down at the 15-yard line for another Carolina first down is Ed Dixon. Cam Newton on the move and gets rid of it. He is in at running back. He gets the football straight ahead through a big hole and gets a first down inside the 5 of the Bucs. It's 1st and goal Panthers. Cameron Artis-Payne into a crowd. Bucs got to clog up. Cameron Artis-Payne again. He had handoff, dive for Jonathan Stewart, and he's in for a touchdown. Leaping over the top and holding the football across the goal line.
In a scrimmage, and you can see Carolina, it's a stalemate. That's a good effort by Jonathan Stewart. You know, credit Tampa Bay. There was not a lot of movement there. You can see everybody kind of blocked up. That's just a great effort by Jonathan Stewart breaking the plane.
And it's good.
Just a great drive by the Carolina offense.
Gano's kick through the end zone, out to the 25-yard line comes Winston.
Let him go!
Doug Martin with a couple of yards and a flag down.
Holding, number 73, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
It's on the air game at home against the Bears, 7-0. Winston after the penalty, open to Deshaun Jackson, and he's got a first down. Up near the 35 of Carolina. Close to the first.
Blue lady! Buzz up!
They need a yard, and incomplete for Deshaun Jackson. They had a big play in the making there, just did misfire.
Buzz up!
Doug Martin has to fight hard, and good enough to get the first down.
Buzz up!
First down, Winston to Rodgers. And he is smothered right away by Kuechly.
Blue lady! Buzz up!
From the pocket, underneath. And a tough hit on Adam Humphries by Thomas Davis. And there is a flag.
Adam Humphries has time
Personal
to
foul, unnecessary roughness, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Winston avoids the rush, and on the move, catch made for a first down. Mike Evans around the 31 of Carolina.
We got a flag back in the backfield, and I think we may have holding on Peyton Barber.
Holding, number 25, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Wow, what a turn of events. Chris Godwin, the rookie from Penn State, goes out of bounds.
Let him go!
Deshaun Jackson out of bounds, crossing midfield. It'll bring a third down. Need to get to the 40 of Carolina.
Let him go!
Adam Humphries is going to have to fight to get the first down, and he's short at the 42.5. Punters are dropping the ball inside the 20. Clay back there. A high kick with some sun. Fair catch waited for, and in great position. He knocks it back. And is that going to be down by Chris Godwin? From their own 2-yard line, Jonathan Stewart has running room and a big gainer. He had a first down, was knocked back. We'll probably give him the forward progress, but catch made for a first down, and Devin Funchess gets up across the 25. You see the flag near the 30-yard line.
Pass interference, number 17, offense. At the distance of the goal, still first down.
Cam Newton is going to keep it and maybe get a yard. Down, no gain. From his own end zone, he's hit, and it's ruled incomplete right away. The pressure on Cam Newton up front. His 10 interceptions have come on third down this year. And he's going for the sideline. Kelvin Benjamin. And they're saying he's out of bounds on the catch. Actually working with the young group of DBs. Michael Pilardi Bernard Reedy. Speedy Reedy, but there's a flag down as he's tripped at the 45. Here come a few more flags.
There are 2 fouls on the return team. Illegal block in the back, number 25, that penalty's declined. Illegal block in the back, number 12 of the return team. That penalty will be accepted. 10-yard penalty, first down.
9-yard line, Doug Martin the back. Blitz coming. And the screen set up nicely to O.J. Howard, who is up around the 40. Doug Martin fighting hard to get through across the 45-yard line. I love the audio pre-snap. Doug Martin again. He gets a first down crossing midfield. Chargers hanging in there with the Patriots. Another running play, and this one will lose yardage. 3 or 4 Panthers got there to midfield in a hurry. To the well too often. Now to throw on 2nd and 11 in a crowd and knocked away from Adam Humphries. 3rd down and 11. And threaded perfectly for a first down. Inside the 35 to Cameron Brate. Waypoint. Overthrows Humphries. Winston had him open. Flag down. Back at the 43.
Illegal use of hands to the face, number 76, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
For the 43 of Carolina. See who this is on.
The other tackle.
Ball start, number 69, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Humphries sideline, gets some of that back. Winston's in trouble, tries to get rid of it, and that's a fumbled football, and the Panthers seem to be on it.
We'll take a look as we go away. No, that's loose. That's loose before he tries to flip it. That's a fumble.
Hands off to Curtis Samuel, who's got room on the left side for a first down. After a gain of 11. Winston sets up the screen to Artis Payne. And he's knocked out around the 46. Before stepping up big today, Cameron Artis Payne with a carry. He gets to midfield and across, and here comes a couple of flags.
Holding, number 70, offense. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Defensive unit.
As a receiver, McCaffrey, after the penalty, backs him up, and room for Cam Newton to run. He slides across the 45-yard line at a game break now. And McCaffrey in the backfield on 3rd down. And heading out as receivers, Cam Newton for Devin Funchess deep. And coverage was good and throw out of bounds. Hargraves was with him. Reedy back. Punters have been handling the wind so far. It was a lot windier prior to the start of the game. And Reedy with a fair catch inside the 10. Well,
Doug
Martin. On 2nd and 7, Winston high for Evans and incomplete. It'll bring up a 3rd down. Under pressure and incomplete. Brian Anger from his own end zone. Kalen Clay at the 40 of Carolina and gets up near midfield. From the 49 of Carolina, trying to add to a 7-0 lead. Cam Newton completes to Ed Dixon, who's knocked down right away. Underneath McCaffrey, he's got a first down, knifing his way to the 37-yard line.
One coverage, and that's going to go to Christian McCaffrey. Most running backs, that's an even matchup.
Hurrying because they have one timeout. McCaffrey hangs on there, tough hit at the 30 as the clock continues to run.
It's something over the top here as you come into the red zone.
Cam Newton for Funchess too high and incomplete. Top of your screen. Blitz coming. And there's McCaffrey wide open for a first down. And inside the 15 of the Bucs. He's been a star receiver. Receiver fell down at the goal line. That was Benjamin. And Ed Dixon held on to it, but the clock's going to run a timeout now. Carolina will use 3, not 21, which it initially showed. But it's a 3rd and 6. And incomplete for Benjamin. Coverage was good. Former Florida State star, Graham Gano. And he knocks it through to make it 10-0 Carolina. Waving everybody away. And it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Winston to throw. He's got room to run, but he's going to heave it for Evans, who couldn't hang on at the 40-yard line. Out assessed. And they will run it to Doug Martin to get us to the half. Has not done much. Haven't even been in the red zone today. Samuel, the short up back. It was Russell Shepard, and he grabs it with a nice return. Big for the Panthers. Jonathan Stewart. And gets in to Buccaneer territory. Let's check in with Laura. Tampa Bay. It's been the other way around today. Stewart carries, hit hard, knocked down right away. It'll bring a 3rd down. Levante David. Cam Newton, and that is intercepted. Chris Conti with the pickoff. 3rd down interception thrown by Cam Newton, trying to get to Ed Dixon. Chris Conti and the Bucs with a takeaway.
I think you have to say that every play, right? White 59. I mean, you got to identify Luke Kuechly.
There you go. Doug Martin goes. Dancing around. He's got a first down at midfield.
Blue lady.
14-yard pickup on 1st down. Doug Martin again, waiting for something to open up, and nothing did.
Here we go.
And here we go. Winston back to the football. Catch made. Mike Evans.
Got that down and that little comeback.
After a pickup of 14, Winston is going to keep. And he tackled inside the 35 by Thomas Davis.
Here we go.
Doug Martin dropped. And a great play by Shaq Thompson, 2nd on the team in tackles.
Here we go.
Winston is going to get sacked. Smothered at the 40 and knocked backward. Kyle Love with a sack dance.
Doug Martin's got to make that decision to stay in and help his linemen.
And it took him out of any field goal range they might have had. They get nothing on the takeaway, but the field position does change. Jonathan Stewart, and the Bucs shove him back. After no gain from the goal line, Cam Newton completes to Curtis Samuel. And where's Christian McCaffrey going to be? Leading receiver for Carolina. Cam Newton down the middle for Devin Funchess and overthrows. That have cost the Panthers. Michael Pilardi's kick. Bernard Reedy has a chance on the return here. Working his way up across the 47-yard line. He's set to throw on 1st down. And heaving it deep. Deshaun Jackson knocked away. Yeah, there he's reaching into his face. Come on.
But he didn't hit his face.
No call.
There's no hand. There's no face guarding anymore.
Doug Martin with a 1st down run.
One game is showing some signs of life.
A 17-yard run. Martin gets it again. He's averaging 4.5 a carry and gets that inside the 30.
Here we go.
Doug Martin again, pushing his way for a Tampa Bay 1st down.
Here we go.
From the 25, Martin trying to cut back. Jaquiz Rogers, and he may get a yard or two inside the 25-yard line.
Blue lady.
Mike Evans just 1 catch today. Winston with room to run if he wants it. He hesitated and is knocked down around the 23. Mario Addison against this tough Carolina defense. Tangled up. Deshaun Jackson goes down and no flags. Faltered from 41 yards away. And it's up and good. The Buccaneers are on the board.
Earlier how impressed Luke Kuechly is with the skill set that they have here.
And you'll have some suggestions on that offense a little later. Curtis Samuel takes the return, and with a good return up across the 30-yard line. They have kept Cam Newton from lighting it up, but here across the middle he's got Funchess near a first down. Here maybe more. McCaffrey and gets the first down. Second-year player in place of the injured Brent Grimes. That pass caught by Ed Dixon, knocked down at the 45. On second down, McCaffrey, and thrown down at the 40. Third and 11. Cam Newton has not been sacked today. He's on the move. And heaving it deep for Samuel. And knocked away at the last moment. Comes in differently from a left-handed thrower or a left-footed punter. And they worked on that, especially with the wind, and Bernard Reedy moving everybody away as that punt bounces out of bounds.
Here we go.
Doug Martin smothered inside the 5 by K1 Short. You know, we've had...
You're going, Thomas. Here we go.
I heard him say Thomas after a loss of 4 from his own end zone. Where's Thomas Davis? Catch
right there.
Made. And a delivery on the hit. 3rd and 10 for Winston. Extra pressure is picked up. He's got a moment here. And incomplete, forcing it to Evans, who really had 2 people on him. Brian Anger with a high kick. Kalen Clay. Fair catch inside the 45. 44-yard line. Jonathan Stewart maybe to the 45. On second down 9. Cam Newton keeps, and it's run out around midfield. On 3rd and 5, the blitz coming, and he floats for McCaffrey, incomplete. It's too high. But give Mike Smith, defensive coordinator, who's been getting beat up a little bit here verbally, his defense has adjusted after that drive. The punt sailing inside the 5, and it's down by Curtis Samuel. 24. Just over 100 from his own end zone. There's Evans sliding at the 15 and has a first down to dig him out of a hole.
Here we go.
Doug Martin hesitates and fights to get across the 15-yard line. He's been a positive leader from the time he's been here. And Winston has time and delivers on time across the 30. Deshaun Jackson with a catch giving Tampa Bay the first down to throw through any pain in that shoulder. Doug Martin and Kuechly smothers him. Check in for another game break. Time for Jameis Winston, and unloads incomplete. Pressure coming. Winston has to get rid of it. Arm is tipped, and in the air, it's picked off. Mike Adams got to it, then he may have fumbled the football. Initially ruled as he dove to the ground, the interception, and the Panthers take over. Another turnover. Panthers have the lead, and they have the football. Cameron Artis-Payne is in the backfield. Sideline throw to Benjamin. Brought down at the 40.
On the spot, 59 is downfield recovering the fumble anyways.
Cam Newton's got a first down. His best run of the day inside the 20 of Tampa Bay. The blitz coming and smothered for a loss. Gerald McCoy got to Cameron Artis-Payne. The pitch to McCaffrey. A good ankle tackle to keep him from getting upfield. Clock in the pocket for Benjamin in the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Calvin Benjamin from Cam Newton.
Benjamin on the outside right here. Watch Justin Evans, 21-year safety. Look, he goes behind. He just kind of boxed you out. It's like a basketball player boxing you out for a rebound.
Back-breaking play against the Bucs defense on third down. A clutch throw and catch. And the extra point does get through because the Saints are winning and so are the Falcons in the NFC South, and Tampa Bay already in the bottom of the division, as Bernard Reedy will doubt it. Mike Evans with a catch, and this Carolina defense.
Hey, did anybody touch it?
The official is pointing. I did not hear a whistle, but they are pointing that he is down. Evans, I should say, on the pass from Winston, thought he could get up and run this game. Winston lost a fumble earlier, and he's got room to run. Slides. See where they start that slide to see if he had enough for the first down. Open. First down at the 32. Cameron Brate. Third catch of the game for him. Winston gets out of a sack. There's a flag down. Kuechly chasing him. And he's inside the 20. Knocked down. 40.
Holding, number 76, offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Fifth of the season called against him, so now first and 20. Blitz coming. Winston avoids it, and Howard has it at the 35.
Sunday. Here we go.
Rodgers picks up the blitz, floating from Mike Evans. Just off his fingertips, and he had a step.
Pretty gingerly.
On a third down play, and it's intercepted right into the arms at the 25-yard line. Hello, Luke Kuechly. And a cascade of boos here at Raymond James Stadium. Another takeaway. The Carolina defense continues to control this game. 6 minutes to play. 14-point Carolina lead. Funchess stays in bounds. The ball, he was in the right place. Cam Newton keeps. And short of the first down. Said he had to be brutally honest with the doctors as Cam Newton keeps on third and short. Let's see, it's going to be close. It's a big down to give the Bucs hope. Just over 4 minutes to play. Timeout used by Tampa Bay. They did stop, and there's a challenge now coming.
Of the line to gain.
Anything clear and objective, you know, with
that,
the replay,
right?
Yeah, to change that. It's one of the harder challenges to get accepted.
Game.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. The ball is short of the line to gain. Carolina will be charged with their first team timeout.
Wow.
Booms that inside the 15. Bernard Reedy up the sideline. And a flag on the back end after that 52-yard punt. They're going at it still.
After the play's over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 57 of the kicking team. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Mike Evans with a good catch at the 43-yard line of Carolina for a first down.
Here we go.
Here comes the 35th. And Cameron Brate with a fingertip grab inside the 25.
Go.
And in the red zone, Mike Evans. And here's your stat of the week. Who gave us that stat? Tell you in a moment. Winston goes down. Luke Kuechly gave us that statistic. Third down, 14. The turn and incomplete for Chris Godwin, and it's fourth down. They need 14 for a first down. Winston gets out of it. He's under pressure and hit. Ball's loose. They have not ruled that an incomplete pass. It was fourth down anyway.
Strength.
This is an old school Carolina kind of win, returning to their basics. Jonathan Stewart, who scored his first touchdown of the season, timeout earlier in the game, and on the team at the top of the division, the Saints, who are leading at the moment against the Bears.
Yeah, not only 4 of the next 5 on the road, but they haven't won on the road this year.
And the Panthers, Jonathan Stewart, muscling his way for a first down to keep the clock running.
Recovery, down near that red zone. So huge part of this victory today, having those 2 guys back.
When we
You have to blend both of those. So he continues to learn. He calls them learning opportunities.
Yes.
And let's just hope that he grows from those learning opportunities. But he was very enjoyable when we sat down with him and spoke with him yesterday, and gave us some good insight. And so maybe he is taking that stride. And it's going to be great watching those 2 guys down the road playing in this division. This is a great division. The NFC South is one of the more competitive divisions. It's going to be fun to watch this pan out.